The night I heard my own voice in the woods. Hey folks, I gotta share something that's been haunting my mind for years now. This happened back in 2017 when I was 16. I was visiting my uncle's cabin in the deep woods of northwestern Maine. My grandpa and I had driven up there for the fall season. The cabin was cozy but small, so I had to sleep in a camper set further back into the woods. That first evening, everything went by as usual. Auntie made dinner, we laughed, shared stories, and eventually called it a night. With a flashlight in hand, I made my way to the camper. Halfway down, I turned off the flashlight and looked up to admire the night sky. That's when I noticed dead silence. No birds, no crickets, no rustling leaves, just silence. Suddenly, an intense feeling of dread washed over me. The hair on the back of my neck stood up. It felt like something was watching me. My instincts screamed at me to run to the camper as fast as I could. When I got there, I slammed the door shut, double-locked it, and closed the blinds. My heart was pounding in my ears. I laughed at myself, thinking I was overreacting. But that night, I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing footsteps and movement all around the camper. I told myself it was just animals, but my dreams were haunted by something I couldn't see. Unfortunately, that wasn't the end of it. The next morning, everything seemed normal. I thought about telling my grandpa, but I didn't want him to think I was being dramatic or too city-fied. So I brushed it off and enjoyed the day with my family and their big shepherd dog, Frank. That night, I asked for Frank to stay with me in the camper to feel safer. The walk back was fine until we hit the tree line. Frank seemed on edge, his ears perked, his head on a swivel. That night, he slept in the bed with me, but I had another terrible dream. When I woke up, Frank was staring at the wall, his hackles raised. Morning came, and I packed my bags to leave. I took Frank out to the small field between the cabin and the woods. We played fetch, but one kick sent the ball rolling to the edge of the woods. Frank sprinted after it but stopped dead in his tracks, his fur standing on end. I called his name, but he didn't move. I walked over, grabbing his collar, worried. His eyes were locked on the trees. And then, I heard it, my voice, calling back to me from the woods, but it was delayed and distorted. It sounded like me, but not quite. I froze, staring into the dark woods, holding my breath. Then, another scream in my voice echoed back. I turned and bolted back to the cabin, dragging Frank with me. I stumbled into Auntie's arms, crying, telling her something was out there. She comforted me, but seemed uneasy. My family is superstitious, and I'm guessing she didn't want to feed into it. I left that afternoon and haven't been back since. So what do you think? What did I experience in those woods? Let me know in the comments. Also, please follow, like, share, and subscribe for more videos. Until next time, stay safe.